To consistently perform at high levels in Marvel Rivals, you need more than raw mechanics or one-trick hero mastery. You need true adaptability. The best players can shift their approach mid-match by changing heroes, countering compositions, and leveraging map positioning to swing momentum in their favor. Adaptability means reading the situation and responding with the right tools, not forcing the same strategy every single game. And today we're talking about adaptability and why it's such a strong and crucial tool to anybody playing Marvel Rivals. And you better subscribe, otherwise Guang Guang is gonna buff the character you hate the most. So I recommend probably subscribing. But anyways, let's dive straight in. For one to first be adaptable, they have to understand what I like to call the combat triangle. The combat triangle, in theory, is a fundamental of team archetypes, whether it's dive, poke, and, well, brawl. There's really only 3 in Marvel Rivals, so that's really all you have to worry about right now. Now, mastering this triangle is the key to predicting enemy choices and countering them efficiently and effectively. The first point of this triangle is dive versus poke. Dive heroes like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Psylocke excel at jumping onto backlines and eliminating squishy poke heroes before they can set up. Their mobility punishes static long-range comps. This is certainly true, especially when you're diving with multiple teammates. Then you have the second point of the triangle, which is poke versus brawl. Poke heroes such as Hela, Punisher chip away at slow, melee-oriented brawl heroes from a distance, softening them up before they can even reach the fight. Then your third point is, well, brawl versus dive. Brawl heroes like Hulk, Captain America, Thing, any other brawling heroes thrive when dive heroes overcommit. Their CC, or crowd control, and disruption tools can shut down mobile assassins and turn fights instantly. You need to learn how these dynamics interact and always think a step ahead. If your dive comp gets locked down, you want to pivot to a more poke-style composition. If the enemy is poking you from afar, you want to bring the dive pressure. Counterpicking isn't just about hero choice, it's about breaking the enemy's game plan. Now, one of the most overlooked skills in Marvel Rivals is knowing when and why to switch heroes. Yes, this is still super apparent in Season 4.5 when people just don't want to swap. And if you have someone that doesn't want to swap, let me know in the comments down below. Now, staying stubborn on a hero that just isn't working costs a ton of games. Smart swaps honestly will just instantly win them. Now, there's 3 different ways to know when to swap your hero. First is identifying the problem. Between fights, you always want to analyze what's going wrong. Are enemy supports unkillable? Are you losing space to long-range damage? And is one player on their team hard carrying? Those are the things you should be taking note of and understanding how to shut those specific heroes down. The second thing you want to be looking for is you need to counter specific threats. For example, if you see a Groot on the enemy team is getting immense value and you honestly have no idea what to use to shut him down, you can think of characters like Winter Soldier, Punisher, and even Wolverine. Now, that's one of the best examples to really show counter specific threats. But with that being said, you do need to balance your team comps still. Now, again, another example, if the Groot is getting a ton of value and Wolverine is open to pick, before you finalize that pick on Wolverine, if they have a flyer as well that's absolutely dominating, your best option would default to Punisher. Punisher essentially kills 2 birds with 1 stone. He's going to be countering the Groot and he's going to be countering the flyer. That's why you have to decide before you make that final pick, what is the best choice for that character or the best choice for what your team actually needs. You really have to switch with a purpose. Frequent random swaps can ruin team synergy and ult economy, so you always have to think a little bit ahead. You have to think about, if I swap here, will my ultimate or will I have enough impact for the next team fight? Those are all major things you have to consider. The best players treat switching as a strategic reset button, using it to solve problems and flip matchups before they spiral out of control. So if you see a group at your spawn door, it's probably in your better interest to walk out as Punisher, Wolverine, Winter Soldier, rather than walking out as, I don't know, maybe a character like Psylocke or something, because it's better to quickly get rid of the problem than letting it linger too long. Now, I'm sorry to interrupt your video, but if I could just take a minute of your time to talk about today's sponsor, Control. If not, just skip ahead. And I'm excited to share that this video is sponsored by Control. A delicious protein-packed snack or just a tasty way to fuel your day, Control has you covered. And personally, I'm all about their peanut butter pieces cookies. Seriously, they taste amazing and they fit perfectly into my daily routine. Whether it's a quick shake in the morning or a protein-packed snack in the afternoon, Control's products are both macro-friendly and ridiculously tasty. And now they've got 2 new must-try products. First off is their Monster Cookie, a soft-baked protein cookie loaded with white and milk chocolate chips plus crushed cookie pieces, and it tastes ridiculously amazing. And if you're more of a protein shake friend, they have a Paradise Potion Shake. It's a refreshing mix of sweet coconut and tart pineapple blended into and it's honestly fantastic. Now, Control's snacks and shakes are designed to fuel active lifestyles, whether you're hitting the gym, gaming for hours, or just need a convenient, nutritious option. If you're looking for your next go-to protein shake, check out Control's website using the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. And don't forget, use code DUCK at checkout to save 10% on order. But anyways, back to the video. Now, adaptability isn't just limited to the hero select screen. It's also about how you move, where you position, and how well you use the map's terrain. There's 3 things you want to take away from this. You want to control the map, protect key teammates, and apply targeted pressure. So let's talk about controlling the map. You don't want to tunnel on one choke or one angle. You want to use flanks, verticality, and side routes to force enemy rotation and open new attack vectors. A lot of the times, people just do front to back compositions, especially in ranked. No one really ever flanks in ranked. When you realize that you can flank, it just opens up so many more avenues and gives your team a lot of breathing room. And for example, for protecting your key teammates, if you're a vanguard or a tank, positioning isn't about taking damage, it's about drawing pressure away from your supports and strategists. You'll also want to peel your strategists before they get isolated by that pesky Psylocke or any of the other flanking DPS. Then you have apply targeted pressure. Duelists should position where they can harass enemy healers or DPS without overextending. Then your strategist should anchor in safe positions with strong sightlines while staying mobile enough to reposition when threatened. Map awareness separates very good players from great ones, and it's not just about where you are, it's about knowing where the enemy wants you to be and refusing to give them that fight. Now, the next thing is you want to expand and refine your hero pool. Yes, true adaptability requires options. Limiting yourself just to 1 or 2 heroes drastically reduces your strategic flexibility. And in my honest opinion, you want to learn multiple heroes per role. If you're a Vanguard main, you want to practice both a mobile diver like Hulk, Captain America, and a defensive barrier tank like Doctor Strange or even Magneto. And as a duelist, pretty much learning a majority of the duelists with the exception of, these random flex ones like Spider-Man, Black Panther, you're going to be in a lot better spot than just knowing 2 characters. And honestly, a big thing that a lot of people don't take away or don't really value is when you play every role. Spending time on roles you don't main gives you invaluable insight into how they think and where their weaknesses lie. For example, if you're a duelist main and then you pick up strategists on the side, you'll learn how to better counter the strategists and how they tend to use their ultimates and where they position. You can use that knowledge to your advantage. And honestly, this can really be drilled in the practice range, not even really playing the game, although playing the game as well helps you understand your own hero choices a lot better. But in the practice range, you can experiment with combos, cooldown timings, and movement tech. Building muscle memory here pays dividends in live matches where instincts matters most. The wider your hero pool, the easier it becomes to pivot into counters, shore up team weaknesses, and outdraft your opponents. Now, at its core, people need to understand Marvel Rivals isn't about padding kill counts, it's about winning objectives. Adaptability often means you're shifting your focus from mechanical fights to macro decisions. This is where things like target priority really matters. Eliminating supports first cripples the enemy sustain and makes follow-up fights exponentially easier. And just focus firing targets in general. Calling one target, focusing that down, then moving on to the next target, focusing that one down as well. Then you always want to play around synergy. You want to coordinate team up abilities and ultimates. A well-timed combo can dictate entire fights, but only if the team is on the same page. In Marvel Rivals, this game heavily emphasizes around those ultimates. Neutral fights don't really matter as much, it's all about ultimate economy and ultimate fighting. Then you want to track and counter ultimates. Awareness of enemy ult economy is vital. You want to bait them out with soft engages, then re-engage when they're vulnerable and your team has the advantage. Now I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, so I highly encourage you to check that out. Adapting your macro decisions to the flow of the match often matters more than any single duel. You want to play for the win condition, not the highlight reel. So what's our final thoughts, our takeaway really from all of this being said? Well, adaptability is the mark of a truly great Marvel Rivals player. It's the difference between forcing your plan onto the match and reshaping your plan around the match. You always want to be looking to counterpick smart, reposition deliberately, and switch heroes with a purpose. And you want to always align your actions with your team's win conditions. When you can fluidly shift strategies mid-game, you stop reacting and start dictating the pace of the game. But anyways, hopefully this video has helped you in any way, shape, or form. And if you haven't done already, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe and hype the video. As well, check out some of my other videos related to Marvel Rivals Masterclasses, whether it's space as a vanguard, positioning, awareness, anything else. I have all the videos you need right here. So I highly encourage you subscribing and checking them out as well. But regardless, I hope you have a safe and great day, and I'll catch you in the next one.